Hello guys, it's Alex Etsy. So I welcome you to my channel. This video is powered by Digital Wealth Academy and Crypto Queen Academy. So whichever of our channels you're watching this from, it's part of our Forex mentorship classes. So for this weekend, we want to analyze NZD, USD, as well as other pairs that we'll also upload on the channel. So if you're watching this video, you can do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out any of our analysis. And trust me, this is going to be a very interesting one. It might be long. Well, I just want you to understand it. And it is beginners friendly. So even if you don't have basic ideas of technical analysis, we won't be using complex terms and concepts here, just mini ideas. And it's actually to prove to you that to analyze the market, you do not need complicated terms to start making profits. So TA is not as hard as you think. So if you know you are interested in any of these, you need to follow us closely, and you can check the description to find links to our WhatsApp groups and our Telegram channels if you are totally new. Trust me, even if you're a newbie, we'll guide you till you become a professional. So let's begin. Now, when you open the chart like this, I'm going to be using a storytelling analysis. When you open the chart like this, it's complex. You're like, what the hell is this? Sometimes this chart they confuse person here itself. Well, trust me, this chart tells a story. So I'm looking at the chart from a 1 day time frame. What it therefore means is every of this candlestick represents 1 day. So when you look at this, well, you discover perhaps market was a little bit of a downtrend. It started moving up and now it's coming down. So one mistake many newbie traders will just make is, oh, okay, this last part of the market, let us draw a trend line. Oh, okay, market was in a downward trend. It has broken this trend line. We'll place a buy. Well, when we finish our analysis, you will discover that that might be a wrong option. Okay. Or some newbie traders will be like, okay, this is support. Okay, support level over here. So, stuff like that. Well, when we do our analysis, you will discover that there is so much to expect from NZD USD in the coming days and maybe weeks. So the best way to really understand what's happening within this market is let's move to a 4 hour time frame. Let's see what's happening on a 4 hour time frame. So you can see market appears to be on an uptrend, making higher lows, higher highs till we got to this point. Then we went on a downtrend. And even at this point, we can't fully say we are in an uptrend or we are breaking the trend. If you want to draw your trend line, well, you can discover that we've broken the downward trend a little bit from this point. This is also what we saw on the 1 day chart, you can see. But let us now look at other areas. What I want to do in this video is I want to show you key areas you need to pay attention to. And these key areas, they are very good in helping you know when to enter and exit. Even if you want to have a scalp setup, it's also good for you to know when to enter and exit. So what are the key areas we want to mark out? We want to mark out liquidity areas, supply and demand areas. Now, when you look at this chart from here, you discover that from this point here, this point where let me mark it out. So from this point here that is marked, you will discover that to a large extent they gave momentum to the market, meaning at this particular price, people entered to buy, which pushed it up. We saw a retracement. And from here again, we gained serious momentum. So we can discover that these are institutional areas of interest where at every given point we saw serious momentum going up. And from here you can see that the market a little bit retraced. Then from this point was the highest momentum. So you can see this is a serious, a serious demand zone. And one beautiful thing about these type of liquidity zones is they always magnet. Now, what do I mean by the always magnet? You can discover that from this zone, if you had marked out this zone when the price was up here, you will definitely know that price will definitely come back to this zone to pick up liquidity again. And that is what it has done. So it went up to this point. Let me also mark the next zone. Go to this point, and you can now see from this point, another serious interest. You can see the level of sell. So if I'm going to use a ruler from this momentum that is price at this point, I think we came down to this level of about 100 and let's just say about 162 pips. So this was the level we got to from this particular price. So you can see this is also an area of interest. Another area of interest I want to look at is this particular candle here. You can see from this candle here, price pushed way over 200 pips. So if you want to calculate this, so you check this down to this level. This is like 214 pips thereabouts. So this was the movement. So from this candle here down, so meaning at this same price, institutions entered to push the market down to this liquidity zone. So I'm going to mark this out on my chart. So these are like 4 to 5 zones that I am going to be paying attention to. Now let's now see what happened. So as soon as remember we have, okay, let me take this. So back to what we are saying. Now when the moment price got into this zone, let us see the way it has been reacting. So when price got in here, now you will now see what we call institutional traps here. This is a very funny zone. You see it better in the 1 hour time frame. You see it better in the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so when price got here, okay, so we made a move as if we're going up. Now because each of these zones has a magnet. So for example, for me, it is a very strong zone that once price reaches here, it will make a bounce back. Okay, I'll explain my strategy later. Well, let us understand how these guys manipulate this market. So when price got to this zone, made a step as if to go higher. All right, it bounced back. It made a step, it bounced back, and this was where they entrapped both buyers and sellers. How did they do that? Now, price made a step here as if to go up. So I guess all the buyers were happy, and I'm sure at this point in time, many of them would have put their stop losses here. Because for those who will trade on a lower time frame, like 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and maybe 1 hour, they would see this as a resistance, while over here as a support. So okay, let's go to the 1 hour chart. Let's see what happened over here. So on the 1 hour chart, for example, at this point, this is the important zone we are here. So those who trade on the 1 hour time frame would see here as a resistance point, and here as a support. So look at what price did. So price was coming, and all of a sudden what happened? It broke this point. It must have taken down their stop losses. It came down. It came up here again. And at this point, it came down. Now, and it went down. And people will be like, whoa, it has broken resistance downward, right? So let us now start selling. So it came to this point again. And those who will be selling, for example, who put their stop losses here, what happened? It went up again. So it deceived the buyers, deceived the sellers over here, and it's back to this zone. Now, if you were just dealing with only supply and support and resistance or trend lines, you will discover that at this moment the market has faked you. Okay, so those who traded without understanding this liquidity point must have been faked out of the market. But when you trade with liquidity point, you discover that there are two basic directions of the market. It's either the market wants to go back up to pick this liquidity. For me, I feel this is the first major liquidity because of this move it made downward. So I still feel there is still momentum here for a sell. So two options to trade. It's either you wait for it. This will be a low risk trade. So around 0.62760, you wait for a sell because once price touches this zone, let me start marking out my serious zone. So my zone would cover this whole candle and come over here. So this would be a low risk sell zone. So once price touch enters this zone, you can be rest assured that it would. Meanwhile, let me cancel these stuffs, these support and resistance lines, so it doesn't obstruct my chart. So I'm giving my trade plan for the coming days or weeks. If price enters here, I would have a low risk sell zone. So we could see a reaction from this momentum. The remaining sell orders and momentum could push this down, and I can get a clean 50 to 60 pips from this. If it holds, yeah, everything is projection. Then, like I said, there are two options. So it's either price is still going to go up or it's going to come down. For those who would look at this from a lower perspective, okay, let's go back to a 1 hour time frame and see this, for example. For those who might be quick to suggest that perhaps we have now for those who might be quick to look at this as an uptrend, Do not forget that the way price is at this moment, it is still approaching a um a resistance point. So it is wrong to look at this as a buy or sell. This doesn't give confirmation for anything. So how do we know if we have a good confirmation to buy or sell? Now, since this point that we are is still a very unique point, so let me just draw a resistance line. We're still at a resistance point, so we're not fully out to say the market is going on in an uptrend. So we could still meet by Monday opening or Tuesday, we could meet either a resistance that will take us down. Remember, we still have other key supply zones. So we could meet a resistance that will take us down from this point. So we could meet a resistance that will take us here to this point here or here. That is one. So we do not know the area of the market, but we could also meet the trend could continue bullish, and we get to this point where we make, at least we take some reversal trades and make at least 50, 40, 50 to 60 pips from here. So the question now is, how do I know when to trade and what to trade? Very simple. If at the new week I see the market coming downward, okay, and for now this is like a new support over here. So let's take this as a support. So let me delete this. So let's take this as a support over here. This price, which is around 0.603, this is like a support. So in the new week, if I see price coming towards this level, I wouldn't want to trade here because this is a trap actually. Any trade within this range, 615 to 604, it's going to be like a trap basically. So once I see it breaking this place, perhaps coming down and retesting here, which is now a new resistance. So if this place here is now is broken and it's made a resistance, it therefore means price is coming down here, and even possibly to this level. This is like a very sweet liquidity point. So if it breaks here and breaks here and it retests here, it doesn't go up, it's still within here, therefore means price is coming down, right? Same thing happens if it breaks here and it comes to this point over here, anywhere around here, okay, and it makes a retest. Now I can now take a medium risk buy trade. So it comes here, makes a retest. I can take a medium risk buy trade and know that price is coming to this zone. So I can move with the movement of the market. At this point, when it's approaching here, I sell off at 40 to 50 pips profit and wait for a reversal and take the price downward. That is a trade plan. You get same thing with another trade plan. If price breaks this place, comes down here and reverses, and it doesn't break here, meaning here is a valid resistance point, I can then therefore know that I will take my trades downward, and at any of these points, I exit my trade, wait for it at this last point, which will be around 0.58, and take the ride back up again. So this is how to get some swing trades from the market. So the question is, how long will this play? Remember, Forex is having your game plan, okay, having your game plan and waiting for the market to suit to your game plan. It's very simple. We are not rushing. But trading at this point in time, trust me, I would consider it as a big risk because at this point in time, market will come to sweep this lower liquidity before moving to sweep the higher one, or it could go first to sweep this higher one before coming to sweep the lower one. So, best strategy, once price breaks out of this level, okay, and it attempts back, reverses back here, and it doesn't break downward, can be rest assured that price has fully gained momentum. And we can be waiting to ride the price up here, take profit, and once we notice a reversal, take it downward. That is one strategy. Two, if price comes downward and it breaks here, comes downward, makes a reversal, it doesn't break here, then we can be rest assured that price would come down to sweep this lower liquidity here. So we can take our trades from here, go downward, take profits, and wait for it. Once it makes a reversal here, take it up. So that will be my trade strategy in coming days and weeks. I don't know how long this will take to play out, but by Monday, Tuesday, when the market opens, we should have an idea of what is happening. Try to go to the lower time frame. But this should give you an idea of how to trade generally NZD, USD. If you know you gain value, do not forget to comment value received. If you have other mindsets to this analysis, also comment with your various analysis, and we can also get to learn from you as well.